All right, and welcome. So we got a treat. You're one of the new cats, newish.
Yeah.
Session cats.
Newisher.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
Have a what?
YouTube channel? Instagram, something?
I have an Instagram. Yeah.
I'm gonna post the link down below. Monster Player. The Christmas.
Now I have to post more stuff.
Yeah, you do. The Christmas, classical track alone. You bastard.
Oh, yeah. That was really fun.
Yeah.
I never get to play acoustic. I mean, I don't know. I do sometimes. I do at home a lot for people on tracks, but it's like every year I get the gut string out for Christmas.
Just come around the campfire, everyone.
Yeah. That's a cold campfire. But,
Did I say your name already? This is Justin, in case I didn't. Ostrander. Oh,
yeah. A lot of people say, "Ah."
Where are you from? What's that?
I'm from Kansas. Oh, well, that's Scandinavian.
Ah,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You conqueror?
Yeah.
You came here and conquered Nashville.
Oh gosh.
All right. So, anyways, this is all about a little in the session with what you do. We came up with a ham-fisted little tune real fast, and you laid down some parts like you might.
Yeah, like say there's two guitar players on a session, and one of them's holding down the rhythm,
or just in a band for that.
Or the singer in the band just banging out chords. Like, what do you do that supplements and adds to that and doesn't get in the way?
Yeah.
Now,
go ahead.
I was going to say, I think the worst sound in the world is two guitars playing the exact same thing, barely out of time from each other and barely out of tune.
Like a bad chorus vibrato effect. It gets interesting. And now keep in mind, with everything that we're saying would normally revolve around having a singer. So some of what you would play would be dictated by what a singer would do. But
yeah, that informs everything.
Our track is pretty mellow, right? It's like F, C, G, right? And that's basically, we got one other chord in there. It's real complicated. A minor.
Yeah. There is. Oh well, what did you just pass? There was another. What's
B
that?
to C.
What's that guy?
I don't know what that is. Tell me what that is.
It's G over B.
G over B?
Yeah.
I know what that is.
Okay.
That's a country chord.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That gets you by like 1,000 songs. You just keep that.
I think that's a conservative estimate.
Yeah. So anyways, what goes through your mind? You hear a track like that, right? And my part's just a basic.
Yeah. So we came up with this. You just playing that. It's kind of a
acoustic part almost.
Yeah. But when you're banging it out on electric with a little grit, I think of, my mind goes to Black Crowes.
Okay.
Or like a southern rock Americana thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, if you're playing that and my job is to come up with something for the intro, often that's informed by the vocal, but we don't have a vocal, so I would just play something that is kind of lead-ish, but more melodic and repetitive, something that's a hook, right?
Yeah.
We're always looking for the hook.
Sure. Now, would that sometimes be, would you play a hook in the style of what the melody is of the singer sometimes, or?
Man, sometimes that's the one. Sometimes I get requested, like, hey, there's a vocal melody in the chorus or in the post-chorus. We want that in the intro.
Yeah, okay.
And so then when it comes back around, it's familiar and it kind of ties everything together.
Okay. But if not, and they're just like free reign, how do you make sure you don't go too crazy? Because obviously in town, you don't want to start doing arpeggios and tapping.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Well, context is key. You're usually, before you just start playing, you've listened to some version of the song, even if that's just, we call them work tapes or demos, and a lot of times it's just an acoustic and a vocal. We'll listen to that, and the producer, the writer, or the artist, or all three of them at the same time, will tell us what they're going for. And that, just being able to sort out what that means, because people will use the same word mean different things by that word than somebody else you work for. Being able to sort that out, I think, is a different set of 10,000 hours than playing guitar.
Yes, it's people skills.
Yeah. So if I'm given free reign, like, I'm not going to be like scared, like, tell me what to do. What do I do?
Yeah.
If nobody's going to tell me, then I'm going to go play something and play it with conviction.
Yeah.
And by doing that, say, like, this is the thing.
Yeah.
And, a lot of times it's what people on the other side of the glass are listening for. They're not listening as much as they're they're waiting for an emotional response that happens in them that's involuntary.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's it. Yeah.
That gave me the thing that I need. You know.
Right.
So.
What did you do in the beginning? What was the little?
Well,
little hook?
I had a pickup into.
Tell them what a pickup is.
Oh, a pickup. It's a truck. So the song was being counted off, and I start playing before the rest of the band.
Okay.
You know.
So the count
I need
would
that
be
moment
like,
by myself.
Yeah. Right. It's all about me.
More me.
What would the count be in that?
So for ours, we had a 2-bar count. It was 1, 2, 1, 2.
And then they come in on.
Yeah, and the song is the downbeat is that A note that I'm
Okay.
landing on.
Yeah.
As you hit the F chord.
So we know you ended on the A, but why did you play what you played?
Well, we're in G, right? The song, like the way my mind works, being a Nashville guy and thinking in numbers, you know,
Yeah.
we're going from flat 7 to 4 to 1.
Okay.
So we're in the key of G, even though we've got a chord F that isn't in the key of G, right? So I would never play it like a full-on G major scale.
To make it like Mixolydian or something?
I would never play that note. That's
Yeah.
an avoid note here.
Yeah. Do not do it.
Mixolydian, yeah. Oh gosh, takes me back to college.
Does it?
Yeah.
Did you do music in college?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I took like a couple of electives classes.
Hippie jam band? Why?
I was in jazz.
Oh, okay.
Jazz combos in college.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
So there is a reason you can play all this stuff. I was like, okay, what's the story?
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so back to what you played. Why did you play what you played?
Yeah, sorry. So I'm playing in G,
Okay.
right? And it's a very common thing. There's your 1. So I'm doing a pickup. We're in G. And then we land on a chord tone of your first chord. So to me, that I don't know, like there are so many things that I feel like I'm saying that are rules that I break all the time.
Break all the time, yeah.
But this is just what I'm hearing,
Yeah.
right? Over the F. Over the C. I'm playing the 3rd of each chord.
Okay.
And then the second time it was a... So all that happening over the... Yeah, sorry.
Classical guy.
Yeah, so it's really like, I don't know, I'm at the point now where I'm not really thinking like, what notes are in F?
Yeah, you
How
just
do
hear
I
it now,
get
huh?
there? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like, I hear something, I'm gonna try to play it.
Yeah.
You know? And I know what's gonna give me the emotional response myself
Yeah.
of what I think that they're looking for on the other side of the glass. If we're still in the context of a session.
Sure. You know, it's interesting though, like it was funny because Tom was saying the same thing, but there's chord shapes that people can learn up and down the neck.
Absolutely.
And in the beginning, a lot of people stick to root thirds and fifths. But
Yeah.
when you start to figure out how to do that and make melodies out of it, you start hearing the other notes eventually that you want, and you're like, oh, it's not a root third or fifth. What is it? And it doesn't necessarily matter. It's like, oh, but it sounds good.
Yeah.
You know, and so that way it starts to, because people always wonder, well, how do you even come up with everything? And it's like, well, take those chord shapes and try to make a melody out of those root thirds and fifths and see if that works. You know, and then you're obviously, you know, if you've played it all, at some point you're going to just start hearing things and figure out, oh, okay, that's what a third sounds like over a chord or whatever. You know, all them safe things. Okay.
Yeah.
So anything else? Any players come to mind when you?
Oh, on this kind of stuff, like, you know, I'm thinking of bands, like I said, Black Crowes.
Yeah.
You know, I could picture Mark Ford or whoever playing.
Great freaking guitar
I know,
player.
right? Just fantastic.
Okay, so what about what did you do in the rhythm? We had
So we had an intro and then a verse, and you kind of held down the same thing. So I flipped on a tremolo and started playing the same chords, but in a different spot. So.
Okay.
And then I put a move.
What's the move come from?
So it's a F, F, C, G. So F, C, F, C, G.
Kind of Stonesy thing or whatever?
Yeah, very much. Very, very Keith-ish. You know, like that was his whole thing.
Yeah.
It was just one finger bar. He was tuned in a way to where if he played this on his guitar,
That whole chord.
You heard that whole triad.
Super smart.
Yeah. So you get with the bass note, but also with this fifth above it. You know,
Ooh.
it's very cool.
Yeah, it's a cool sound.
So yeah, I'm playing pieces. I'm doing what I can in standard tuning, emulating that. Man, that's another great band to think of with this sort of thing.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah.
Black
Crowes, Stones.
They tried to convince me of that for years when I was a kid, all into metal. Like Keith Richards, I'm like, guy sucks. And then you go back down and you're like,
he plays slow.
if I would have just listened to everybody back then.
Yeah.
Okay, so, not two, but it's close enough for rock and roll.
2. Yeah. Speaking of the Stones.
Yeah, exactly. So you went and played. Let's play it together.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did you have the tremolo on when you do that?
Yes, first verse. Yeah.
Why tremolo? Any reason?
I don't know. I guess rather than just, if I was plugged straight into an amp, and we were playing this live, if you were right there, I would have done something rhythmically. Like I'm looking for a scene change, right?
Okay.
So I have this pedal board at my feet. I can
step on stuff.
Yeah, there's a change. You know, if I was straight into the amp, then I'd have my scene change would have to come from what I'm actually playing.
Oh,
you know.
Well, you don't have your pedal board anymore.
Say I don't have it. Yeah.
Scene change.
All
Ready?
right, count me in. Verse. And even the same thing. The cool thing with tremolo is it gives it motion.
Yeah.
When you're not.
Yeah.
You're not subdividing.
It almost makes its own form of dynamics or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, idea typically in a lot of these songs is to play something super mellow in the first round, right?
Yeah, in the verse.
You always want to be able to step it up a little.
Sure. Yeah, you play to the dynamics of the song as you go through it.
As it sways.
Yeah. Ebbs and flows.
So you just stick with me on that, or?
You know, I was playing pieces of those chords up high. Like you're staying down in what we call the cowboy
that's
position.
right. Mm-hmm.
And so I have everywhere else to go.
Yeah.
I don't want to play something way up here and have this whole mid-range just left open. So
okay, so that's an interesting point though. So you, a lot of times when you're thinking too, it's like, how do you fill in the whole spectrum of sound?
Sure.
But also kind of stay out of people's way. Because I would imagine once you get like a keyboard player or more instruments, it starts to become more interesting to pick your place.
Where do we fit? Yeah, yeah, exactly.
How do we all play in the sandbox?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And you know, a lot of times, say there's a B3 player who's just got some like notes sustaining. I'm not going to go up that high. Or if there's a mandolin track or a 12 string or something, you're down low.
So you're here.
I'm going to be in the middle.
Okay, so what'd you do?
So I actually played some of the same notes you're playing, just pieces of it. You want to count it?
Oh, nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's that?
So I'm playing the A and C. This is the first part of an A minor. And then I can play that same shape a whole step up, and it's the same passing chord. It's a B and D, which are out of a G chord.
Nice.
And then C and E out of a C. So I'm just playing 2-note shapes. Back to our Keith.
Yeah.
It's not Keith. Keith.
With an F. Oh, I like that. How do you know where to do that shape? The Keith.
Well,
obviously you can do that sort of a thing, make it big. How do you give them the hint on how to know where you?
Well, for this is the upper part of an open C chord shape, right?
Yeah.
If I slide this down, I'm really playing.
Okay.
This is the way my brain works. When I picked up a guitar, I was like, okay, this is cool. This is not cool. Why is this not cool? Why is this cool? Well, because some things are moving and other things aren't.
Yeah.
You know, the notes. So you can make it cool by
Yeah, movable capo.
yeah, I'm using your finger. So now I'm C sharp. That's E flat or D sharp. So F exists right here.
Okay.
So the way Keith does things is he hammers on
Right.
to that chord from a flat bar.
So you can find it using basically like a C-shaped chord.
Yeah.
Like find
I
the
guess
F.
the root of this shape is
Yeah.
what my pinky would be playing on the A string.
Okay.
But I'm
Got
not.
it.
Yeah.
And is that where you can do like all that? Kind of stuff?
Totally.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I mean, you're holding down the low end of the chords. I don't need to be playing roots up here. I can play pieces.
And we have a bass player.
And
You.
Yeah. I was gonna say, man, that guy's good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
One
So
take wonder.
what if I said, Justin, man, I hate that. Give me something else. What would you do then? Like, where does your brain go? Because that has to happen. Maybe not hate, but like, let's try something else. Like,
I would think you're crazy.
I know what I'm doing. I swear.
I remember when I was wrong once. You want to listen to it again? Make sure.
Okay, so where would you like? Because you have to do it in an instant. Like, where does your brain go at that point? You're like, okay, Stones didn't work. Like,
yeah. Well, if I'm really
if they're not specific.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is you usually kind of ask a few more questions. Like,
Because then it goes back to like multiple versions of what one sentence means. It means something different to everybody.
Yeah. Like, what are you looking for?
Okay.
Something
and if
different.
they're
wanting, I don't know, just not that. Yeah, that happens so much.
I know it does.
So I was on a session one time.
Yeah.
And we took the first pass of this song, and sometimes it's so great.
Yeah.
And all the players out on the floor, we kind of look around like,
Yeah.
we just fell right into place.
Yeah.
There was some magic there.
Yeah.
It wasn't overthought. It wasn't
Apparently
formulated. And we're kind of like waiting on the response from the control room. And we hear the talkback open because the writer or the producer, he's sitting there at the console and he's got the talkback open and he goes, I don't know, I'm just bored.
No.
And we're all like, what?
Why?
Like, it's your song.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, like we all just connected in this way that you captured digitally.
You
Like,
can't
think
say-
about that. That's
you can't
incredible.
Say 5 against 1 at that point.
Yeah, right. Well, the one's writing the check.
We voted.
So,
Yeah, that's true.
and honestly, I do think that we tried a bunch of other stuff and swung back around to what we initially had.
It always that.
Yeah,
that
and
is
sometimes you give people time to warm up.
Yeah.
But
They go to the bathroom and they're like, fine, it was good. First time was the best one.
Yeah, you're right. I'm wrong. You were beautiful. I'm unattractive.
Okay, so I don't know. I just want something
So
different.
So you don't know. You just want something different. All right.
Ready?
Yeah, come on.
Now keep going.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry.
Verse.
I thought you were in the pre-chorus. I thought that's where you wanted something different.
No, just the whole thing, dude.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Well,
I'm bored.
I did something different in the second verse because I knew you'd get bored.
Okay, all right. 1, 2, 3. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you do?
A little Leslie vibe. I've got an eventide on my board, and
Okay, wait, hold on. Let me ask you something. There's going to be some people out there that are going to say, "Yeah, sure, man, but I don't have a $9,000 pedal board." What is one thing? Yours isn't either. What is there a do-it-all Swiss Army knife pedal? Like if you can afford like $600 is your max, and you want to get some cool sounds like this,
yeah,
is there some place to go?
the HX effects.
Okay.
100%.
Like the one on your board.
Yeah, man, it's like
Imagine that.
it's
They're really good.
it's the next step from
Yeah.
the M series.
Yeah.
The M series stuff was great for firepower.
Yeah.
It's like I've got so much.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good.
Yep.
And
Which, if you don't know, an M9 is like, it's on everybody's board.
yeah,
pretty much.
or at least was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone had one. It was the the Line 6 pedal with the 6 knobs and a tap tempo that had a looper.
Yep.
And it had, families of effects. Like all the reverbs were orange, all the delays were green, and overdrives, boosts, and compressors and EQs were yellow. And those all sounded so terrible I never used them.
I know.
Like just on a session anyway.
But then you see Dan Huff play it at the Giant reunion, and like, you freaking bastard. Dude just killed
I
it.
love it. Oh, I love it.
Okay,
and then there's so many people in the back like, you can't sound that good with that.
But yes, you can with Dan Huff.
Yeah,
right?
got those hands.
If you guys don't know who Dan Huff is, do yourself a favor. And the great thing about Dan is there's just a smattering of his whole career. So you're going to find like eyeliner Dan, curled permed hair.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Country Dan.
Yeah.
And he just rips it. Bastard.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, sorry. Back to HX.
Yeah, so this, I consider this the new M9.
Okay.
So it's the HX effects. It's just the effects out of the Line 6. Like, I don't want the amps,
the big one.
cabs or anything. I just wanted the effects out of that. And it sounds light years better than the M stuff. To me, it doesn't sound like it's aimed at the Guitar Center crowd.
Yeah.
You know, the M series always sounded like they're going after the kid in the guitar store that's like, I can do this and this and this and this.
Well, it got like everything like 70 to 85%. Like it got you in the ballpark. It got you close. The only things that I thought were notoriously terrible were like the vibes, and in the old M9s, the rotaries weren't that terrific.
Yeah. No.
Are they better in this one?
Fantastic. Yeah. I mean, I'm talking the thing up, and the effect that I'm using is on a different pedal, but the one in the HX is really great too. And I usually tell people, it's like, I know it's made by Line 6, but it's on par with the Eventide.
Great, dude.
It is.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It is light years, and you have all the old patches.
Yeah.
And they call it the legacy mode. So
I mean, most of the guys, like when I go to Kenny's house and stuff, he still uses the M9. He's got all his Kenny things he loves to do with the delays, and like some of that delay stuff is just
yeah. I mean, people get stuck on something.
Yeah.
And I don't mean stuck on it, but it becomes so much a part of what they do
sound.
that it's like,
how can you let it go?
Yeah, and it's not like no one's calling him because he's got a lowly M9 on his board.
That guy is the busiest guy. Anyways, we'll talk about Kenny later. So anyways, that would be like a one-stop shop, and then maybe just like a couple drive pedals or something. Is that kind of where you can go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
And one of my favorite sounding cheapish overdrives is like a Vexter Box of Rock.
Okay.
I like having a boost and an overdrive. If I'm going to take one.
Is that a combo?
Yeah. It's got a drive and then a boost.
Yeah.
As
okay.
Well. So,
all right. There you go. There's a board for $750, right?
Yeah. But you left out the most important part.
Okay.
The tuner.
Oh, dude, what do you need a tuner for? Like, yeah, that sounds good. All right.
Yeah.
So, what was the different approach?
Perfect.
What was the different? What'd you do?
Oh, so yeah, I since there's just two guitars, and we don't have a B3 player, I stepped on a Leslie effect.
Okay.
And a really big cavernous reverb.
Okay. Give me a shot by itself.
Yeah. So I was playing over the F, over the C, and then
pieces of the chord
again, it's chord tones over the changes.
I think some people don't realize how effective putting another note on top of the chord, right? If somebody's playing a chord one way and like say the fifth's on top rather than the root, it sounds like it's a totally different chord. Sure. But it's not.
Sure.
And it just sounds great.
It does, yeah. It really expands it. And if what I was playing, if there were a vocalist here, and he or she were singing some of those notes, I would be staying away from those notes.
Yeah.
You don't want to land in the exact same spot as the vocal. And play this like unison thing happens, and it makes my eyelid twitch. So I just try to stay out of their range wherever they're singing.
Yeah.
And if they've got something that's, go back to our intro thing.
Right.
If they're singing, that's too close.
Yeah.
I got to go somewhere else.
Okay,
and
now you
play
got to go
some-
somewhere else. But
Yeah, okay.
What's your vocal line? Ready?
My vocal, well, just say that she's she, because it's kind of high.
Carrie Underwood.
Robert Plant, yeah. Say they're singing the line that I was playing. So I would do something like, a little out of pocket there.
See, those things. Okay, so that's, I don't want to say it's a Nashville thing, but it's one of my favorite things that session guitar players do. It's when they get down to the very end and they put the two notes together. Or the transitions between the chords.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Like I can't stop playing.
It's so good though. There's something about it though. That
You can't just let the phrase end.
Yeah.
You have to, yeah.
What if you were, okay, you ready? So if you were playing my part,
Yeah.
but you wanted to make it more interesting, you're the only guitar player. There's acoustic guy
Yeah.
and maybe a keyboard player. Like,
Yeah.
what do you do to make exciting?
Well, I think, like, how do I make that a hook? And sometimes a guitar by itself, just doing that, there's enough context around that it draws people in because they think, okay, something's going to happen. The band's about to kick in.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a hook in and of itself.
Okay.
But, you know, you can also...
Like, would you add cool little, yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's hooky.
Yeah.
One guitar.
Yeah.
There's a singable.
Okay, so when the verse comes in and you're still that guy,
Well, then I would stop the melodic thing because now somebody's singing.
would you put in
The
like
singers,
little,
they get in our way.
God, freaking singers. Do you put in like little hammer-ons and such?
Yeah, yeah. So, first of all, I have this massive slapback,
Yeah.
which I love. I will overuse slapback.
Yeah, a lot of you guys
Well,
love your slapback.
yeah. I'm usually, man, could you turn the mix down on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Sure.
Whatever.
You're right. But it gets in the way if it's not locked to the tempo, especially when you're palm muting. If you're
Yeah.
playing something that's mostly percussive in nature,
Okay.
and you have this,
Yeah,
you know,
right. It's a train wreck.
yeah. So that doesn't really bother me too much.
Yeah.
But I would probably like say, here's the intro, and I'll go into a verse pattern. And I'm kind of playing the snare hits, backbeat in what I'm doing.
Wait a minute. Will you do this to the music? Will you do this to the tune? Give us
Sure.
a walkthrough. Hey,
Sure.
give us some tunes, maestro.
That was done.
You want to try it again? Wait, hold on.
Sure.
Talk. No, we didn't like that one. You got something else in you?
Yeah.
John Cougar Mellencamp. Think
Hey, that
John
was-
Cougar Mellencamp.
That was this is funny, like on sessions sometimes if somebody like just
Yeah.
shanks the first bar, it's like, one bar rule.
That's a
Okay,
mulligan.
stop. Yeah.
Okay.
Control Z.
Yeah.
3.
Exactly. 2. Okay, go for it.
Slap back off. See, I'm out of the way for the snare hits. I'm the only guitar player.
Oh, come on.
Back to the rhythm. Sorry. No,
Wow.
That's
free. See, everybody always asks me, like, why don't you do sessions? Because that. Like, I just don't. I don't, like, everything. There's multiple things, and we'll show the guitar cam. But one of the things that I think is cool that most people don't think about is your hands never stops moving like you are. Even if you're not playing something, it's always going. Like, it's keeping.
Yeah,
like-
I do that, and there's a lot of guys. I sort of envy the guys who have completely internalized
Yeah.
their feel. Mine is like
But a lot of people aren't that good yet. So to be able to, it's a good idea to keep it going if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you also don't hit on the typical beats all the time that normal people would play on. Like you have a different way of hitting and making space and hitting on different parts that make it more interesting than just banging on chords. Like any tips? Like how do you learn that?
I think all that's informed by everything else in the band.
Yeah, but there was nothing but a bass player.
No, there was drums too,
right?
And so this goes back to my point about the verse. I was staying off of beats 2 and 4.
Okay.
Playing the chords, I was going 1 and oops.
And that palm,
1
that
and 3 and 1 and
is that
3.
scratch the snare?
Yes.
Okay.
I was doing that with the snare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's kind of in the background.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
You're kind of putting the backbeat and the groove. Like, oh man, I'm trying to remember where I heard this, but somebody was telling me it might have been a guy in a funk band.
Okay.
There's a guitar player named Avi Bortnick. Everybody needs to check out.
Bless you.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
He,
Funk guitar player or?
Yes, but has also been playing like really cool classical stuff lately on YouTube.
Guy in town or in like a band or what?
No, he's in the Bay Area. I found out about him because I went through a really big John Scofield phase in college, and he was the really funky, just really awesome, clean Strat rhythm guy on the Uber Jam record.
Okay.
He was saying, I think it was him. I may be bringing up this guy. Everybody needs to check him out.
Yeah, regardless.
Yeah, seriously. But he was saying that at certain gigs, like the trick was to have everybody stop playing in the band, and your part had to be so funky that whoever was dancing didn't stop.
Yeah.
So you're kind of internalizing the whole groove.
Yeah.
And I mean, nobody's dancing on sessions, but if I'm going to be a part of the song, then I think that everything that I'm doing the spirit of the song still has to be there, whether you mute everyone or not.
Yeah.
So when I'm in the verse, like I'm thinking and staying out of the way of that snare hit. The backbeat is what moves everything forward. Like this kind of music is kind of thrives.
Okay,
on
so the
that,
backbeat meaning?
Meaning the snare hits on 2 and 4.
Okay.
So it's 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and snare. 1, snare, 3, snare, 1, snare. But I'll do instead of just doing, I'm picking up into the later parts of the bar, right? And actually here on the 4 and I'm sliding up.
Yeah.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1.
Any reason you're picking the bigger E-shaped chords versus?
That to me, that's just kind of a simple rock and roll.
Yeah.
You know.
Gets the job done.
Yeah.
Plus, you get that cool slide in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And guitar always, the root and the fifth are never not going to work.
Yeah, right.
In a rock song.
Totally. So is that just what you're playing in that, the root and fifth?
Yeah, I'm playing 2 strings.
Okay.
And you remember, pardon me, our
melt.
changes. Yes, turkey melt. Still melting. Our changes are pushed, right? We were 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Dude, even your chords sound better. What the hell? Are you hitting everything?
Yeah. So I'm playing this giant open F shape. It's really like an F add 9.
Oh,
so I've got the full power chord. Open G, C, high G.
Are you hitting every note? Every string?
Yeah, I think so.
Why does yours sound so freak? I mean, I'm probably pressing to it on mine.
Yeah, that's it.
I know, but yours, the way you hit
Mystery
it
solved.
sounds better.
And then all I'm doing when I go to the C is muting these 2 Fs. So all I'm doing, like the chord, I'm changing pieces of the chord. So you hear.
So you mute the 2 Fs.
Well, I stopped playing them. I'm no longer striking the low E.
Yeah.
And then when I'm playing the F, my ring finger is covering 2 strings. And then when I go to the C, I just mute it.
That sounds good. Sounds more open that way or something.
Yeah, well, there's notes that never leave through all the chords, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So that kind of puts it all together. Yeah. Oh,
kind of
very interesting.
glues it all together.
But you play the chorus kind of in a cool way. Do you have any idea what you did? You want to try it again?
A lot of it was just. And if there's a vocal phrase that's ending, I'll have a. Like you're just listening to the vocal.
Yeah.
Everything's informed by the vocal. Everyone is listening to the the drummer.
Their egos are just going.
Huh?
The vocalist ego is like, "That's right. I keep telling you it's about me."
Hey. Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
He said it.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing.
Okay.
But yeah, if there were the end of the vocal phrase, there's room to sneak in a. I'm gonna do something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Into the downbeat of the next 4 bars.
I like that.
Yeah.
So we got multiple approaches. What you did the Leslie thing on the second pass, right?
Second verse. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, you did a lead.
I did.
What do you think lead wise?
Well, man, I go back and forth between playing something that's pretty majory pentatonic, you know, and something that's a little more bluesy and has some, I don't know, the flat third thing, you know, like the.
Oh yeah.
You know, if it's rock and roll enough, that stuff really works.
How do you blend those two? Because it's tough to play. Majory sounds great by itself.
Sure.
Minor doesn't work over the whole thing.
No.
And then getting in and out from major to minor back to major can be kind of tricky.
Yeah. So again, it's not so much straight major.
Yeah.
As it is mixolydian, like you were saying, right?
Yeah.
So we're never playing. We're never playing an F sharp.
Sure.
Never playing that anywhere. It's always the F, and that's, you know, it's easy to remember that because our first chord is an F natural.
Yeah. Do you like 80s kind of session cats? The guys that do like the melodic / blues?
Yeah.
Or where do you fall? So the reason I'm asking this is, what if we did one version and you were pentatonic country guy for the most part, and then we'll do another one and it's more like melodic rock with a little blues thrown in there. What do you think about that? You up to the challenge?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, why not?
I'll get you another turkey mount when we're done.
Oh, goodness. I do not need another one of those.
Battery's refreshed. Is your
Yes.
battery refreshed?
Oh, yeah.
Beer?
Turkey mount.
IPA?
Oh, maybe later.
Okay. So, here we go. Let's do one pass of a solo.
Okay.
Like country radio, which is, kind of pentatonic, but some cool notes thrown in there.
Yeah. Mostly major.
Melodic, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then second round, maybe more 80s, like freaking Huey Lewis. Something like that. Big vibrato, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
I have a hard time getting away from big vibrato.
I love it.
Fast vibrato is, it just sounds, it makes me anxious.
Yeah. It's like Lukather vibrato and stuff, like real slinging.
Yeah. Man, a bass player, my good friend Steve Mackey was observing.
Great bass player.
Oh, he's incredible. Yeah.
So
I got to play with him all day yesterday.
Whatever.
We were wrapping up, and the last thing that we cut for the day, I think he was already like putting his bass in his bag, was a solo.
Yeah.
And I turned everything off, took my cans off, and he goes, hey man, let me ask you,
Yeah.
He's like, is everybody in Nashville get this vibrato thing from Steve Lukather?
Yeah.
He literally said the same thing yesterday. And I was like, well, yes.
Yeah.
It's an evolution of that. Him and Dan in the 80s, like guitar solos in pop songs.
Yeah.
Like now, that's the only arena that happens in is country music.
Do you play for Dan?
I never have.
Okay.
No.
So if you ever do, somebody told me that he played all the Killer Whitesnake solos, and this has been a thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So ask him, would you?
Yeah.
Did you do the Whitesnake solos or
You
not?
did, right? Yeah.
Because that vibrato, it's almost a giveaway. Like his stuff, whether it's even like on a Paula Abdul track, there'll be some just burning, wicked guitar solo back in the
Or
day.
Celine Dion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the vibrato is so good, and even the really, really great players, there's still only a few guys that have they got a thing, that certain kind of vibrato.
Yeah. But man, nowadays, like you want to sound great, but you can't. I'm trying to think the best way to say this. You can't sound like you've practiced too much.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, no, I do.
If
Can't be too good.
the emotion that we're conveying is a really excited teenager, like young, angsty, like rock. Here I am,
Got a little grit.
Yeah, a little grit, a little simplicity with a lot of conviction.
So what does grit equal?
Man, I think of if somebody wants, like on this song, if somebody wanted like a younger sounding guitar solo, like I would probably try to do something that was more downstrokey with maybe a string ringing open.
Okay, now we got a third category. Okay, so we're going to go evolution. We're going to go grit.
Yeah.
You've evolved a little bit, a little more sophisticated, and then 80s where it's like, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Sure. So
we'll
I think
we'll go one pass through each time.
Okay.
Like the two, I should say.
Oh yeah, do like F, C, G twice for each one.
Is that enough time?
Yep.
Okay, ready? What'd you do? That was cool.
I'm leaving the G string open the whole time, which the way I the way I was playing the chords, that works anyhow. So I'm just
Okay.
And again, these are notes in our G.
Yeah, in the chords that we're playing.
And it's very singable. Landing on the third.
Okay. Nice.
And then I went and did a higher version of that. You can hear the changes through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a little bit of more sophistication.
Yeah,
Or,
that you call that the long strap. That's the kid who's playing around his knees.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's a good. Okay. Now we're like we're 29 to 35.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
play a little bit more.
Yeah, all right.
Something, ready?
Cool.
That's what I'm talking about. Those things.
You like the stuff that ends in a whole chord. Right?
I like the bouncing back and forth between open strings and like
Gotcha.
you, Rob, like a bunch of people. They do it in between chord changes a lot, like almost like the Grissom, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Love that.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
I need somebody to like show me that world.
Oh, okay. Well,
Anyways, not here.
yeah.
That's next lesson.
Yeah.
Okay, so what
Save
did you
it
do?
for the next video.
What was your approach there?
Well, very majory, pentatonic for the
Obviously
most part.
chord tones again.
Yeah, and I kind of started by quoting our intro hook that we had originally. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
So, but in country, you get a lot of these.
Which is, yes. Where did you throw that?
So, well, I don't remember the solo exactly. I'm kind of like almost always off the cuff, and it's really hard for me to go back.
Yeah.
But
just pretend you're something close to it.
yeah, so
Right there, over the G. G to
yeah.
C to G. Mm-hmm. Okay, what was the here? Where are we?
Exactly. Yeah.
That makes sense though, because you're going right into that
Yeah.
that chord.
And you can still, I think there was a point in there when I, so on the F, over the C, and then I grabbed the C.
So that note, F chord.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then
Just a little tension,
Yeah.
It doesn't, everything doesn't have to line up all the time. That's the thing is like, we're talking about all this stuff and what we think about and what works and what doesn't. And they're all rules that are completely to be discarded at any point.
Yeah, it's interesting though. It's like you got to give people you got to give them a starting point.
Yeah, sure.
To like figure out how to do it, And then it's like, what I find happens is they don't know how to create a melody necessarily. They go revert back to the kind of triad things and finding, okay, and then they have all these licks that they've already learned, and it's like now they know how to actually use them.
Yeah.
Oh, this is where that lick would actually work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so what else? Anything else in that? You came down here and did
Oh,
some
yeah.
coolness?
So half step bends. I love half step bends.
Okay, give me an example.
So that was kind of fast. I kind of a little.
So is that bending into the F chord? Yeah.
Yep. So I'm landing on the G over the C. There's your thing.
There's my thing. Do it. What is it?
Yeah. If you're ever mad at me, I'm just. No, I'm forgiven.
Exactly.
So yeah, over the C. Landing down on the G. So it's kind of a, we're still over the C, but this is cool, right?
Yeah.
Even though I'm playing what would be a sus note.
Yeah. Susses are cool.
Yeah, but it's also in the middle of something. It's not the destination. We're not just sitting there on it like cool. You're ready for more children.
Right. More kids and a bear. Okay, so here we go.
And I'm kind of just.
So you're bouncing back and forth.
Just walking a line down while I.
Yeah, pedal off the G. Yeah. Interesting. That's super freaking cool. You pick or you hybrid? You're a good picker, huh?
No.
Yes,
I have
you
a
are.
really messed up right hand.
Do you?
It's totally screwed up.
Why is it messed up?
I can't shred to save my life. Like absolutely.
Please.
Like I mean, just like really, like
Andy would shred.
yeah, or Tubbs.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, like surgical,
Dude. Oh, Sean.
I
Bless
know.
his heart.
He's probably getting uncomfortable right now. What's happening?
He's like, I don't know what I'm doing. That's what he's saying.
Someone's complimenting me. What's happening? This is weird. Why do I feel?
Sean, we love you. And you're one of the most terrifying guitar players that's ever lived. Hands down.
Dude, that early Violet Burning stuff. Have you recommended that to your guys?
No, I haven't, but thank you.
Yeah, they got to check that out.
He's freaking
Check
terrifying.
out your homework, John Scofield Uber Jam, just to hear Avi Bortnick.
Yeah.
And now the Violet Burning for Tubbs.
It's terrifying.
It is. It's so good. So good.
And he was like 12.
7. Yeah.
Okay, so.
Giant red mullet.
Exactly. I remember when I was a kid, I begged him to give me guitar lessons. Like my buddy's like, because he played in church bands a bunch. And one of my buddies was a sound man. And I was super into, burning guitar players. But I was like, I need to get out of shred. And like, what's like a. So he said, well, you need to check out Neil Sean and Journey. And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll check that out. And he's like, and there's a guy in town. And we love talking about rack stuff. And he's like, he's got the biggest rack you've ever seen in your life. And
he drives it to gigs.
He does. And he's one of the best guitar players you'll ever see. And I was like, okay. And so Boogie Store moved in down the way from me. And he was working at the Boogie Store. And so I remember walking into the Boogie Store. And it was like when their dual rectifiers had just come out. And they had like 4 of them in a room behind a glass window.
So
and
that's,
Sean's...
Wait, that's 8 rectifiers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, basically. No, it was 2 rectifiers, but cabs, right? So 4 cabs. And then Sean's giant rack in the middle. And I walked in there and he was playing note for note Eric Johnson, back when Eric Johnson had just come out with like Cliffs of Dover kind of stuff, just flawlessly. And I was just like, who is this guy? And they're like, oh, that's Sean Tubbs. And I was like, oh, that's the guy. And then I just would go into the Boogie Store and probably annoy the hell out of him for hours at a time. Play some more, play some more. Give me lessons. No.
Just about ready to buy the amp. Could you show me just for a half an hour?
The DC5, the Mark III. Yeah, exactly. Can you demo it for me?
You're not the first person to tell me a story just like that.
Bro.
From that era.
He was so good. And that was when burning guitar players were everywhere. But he was like exceptionally burning.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So good. Anyways, Sean, get in here. I've been trying to drag him in here for a long time. Okay, so let's do a Sean Tubbs style solo. Okay, so third round, a little more 80s.
Okay.
80s blues rock, Huey Lewis.
Okay.
Yeah. I cut you off. 80s would be twice that long.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I felt my pants getting tighter. My hair just...
Totally. Mascara just starting to... So what's the different approach? Are you playing more out of a mode or more arpeggios, or what's your... Obviously the vibrato is a little more singing.
Yes. Yeah, that's a big part of it. And then, there's longer, more melodic lines that have a lot more color to them because you're not sticking to, strict chord tones. I mean, I went more 80s and less blues. But
what if I did the chords really slow and you just kind of gave examples?
Yeah, so just out of G, I guess I started in the same way. That's kind of me getting my footing in the song.
Here we go.
Starting on the...
Right. Let's see that.
Yeah, just little things.
What did you do? What was the little walk down?
So, G triad, C to B. So it's like a sus.
The Gilmore lick.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't everything?
Yeah. Shit, it really is.
This is our problem. We're all trying to be David Gilmour at twice the velocity.
Twice the speed. And it's like, you don't need to be.
Side trail. My ultimate favorite Strat tone of all time was the solo to another brick in the wall.
Oh, it's one of the best tones ever.
Yeah, and I was like, man, I want a Strat to sound like that. Like, it's got to sound like that. And then, like, for years, I went on believing that was a Strat.
I know, me too.
It's not a Strat.
Somebody just told me that, too.
It's
I was
not
like,
a Strat.
what?
It's a gold top Les Paul.
I know.
With P90s, and which kind of makes a little sense because he's doing a 2.5 step bend in that solo,
Yeah. Oh,
and
I know.
it's a short
Yeah.
It's short for even a Gibson.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a short scale, but it's a wrap tail, which has even less string tension.
Yeah.
So it kind of made a lot of sense.
You know, he plays a different gauge on the B too.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lower. Yeah. It's like from the set below.
Yeah. He's not quite Billy Gibbons light.
Dude,
right?
I played that guitar one time, one of Billy's guitars. It was 8s tuned down a whole step. And it was like you could bend the high E like over the top of the neck.
You could bend you could play a note and scratch your face with the string still there.
But you know, the crazy thing is like you had to the touch is like everything's out of tune. Like if you go on that guitar and just more than breathe on it,
it reminds you the first time you picked up an electric after playing only acoustic.
I started on electric.
Oh, okay. Well, it doesn't remind you then.
Yeah. It did. You know what it reminded me of is why I started on electric. When I went back to acoustic, I'm like, this sucks. Why would I do this?
Yeah.
I used to play 8s too as a kid though. That was the only way I could do it.
And I've never been lighter than 10s.
Really?
I never have. Yeah. I'm telling you, my right, I hit too hard. I dig in too much.
I've been noticing that myself lately. Like,
with a telly, it's easy.
Yeah.
You can beat that thing within an inch of its life, and it's gonna be fine.
That's an interesting. Okay, this is an interesting. What's the best? And say you had a little cash on your hands. What's the most forgiving guitar to start with? Say you want a good one, but like. Because, you know, some amps, like a Vox, there's no forgiveness. Like, you either can play it or you can't.
Sure.
And some, like you're saying, Telly.
I think a Telly is the most forgiving because, you know, it takes a while to develop a touch in your right hand. And like I said, like you can bang on a Telly with a heavier pick and you're not going to knock it out of tune, really. Yeah. It's just going to sound good.
Gibson's is the hard one for me. Like coming from Strats in Tellys. Not to get that bong on the low and all that.
I went through a period where I put 11s on everything. Oh, I think a lot of us did.
Why?
There's just like there's a mid-range and you do get a little more of a metal sound than wood with them, I think, like very subtle. But there's a heavier tone to it, and you know, it's it's so easy with a slide. Like just the higher string tension, especially the high E with a slide, it's like, it's just nice.
He's a rip and slide player.
Oh man, next video.
Yeah. See.
Anyway,
I like that you said that, not me. Like, please come back.
I just beat you to the punch. Yeah. I'm out of here, man.
I am never coming back here ever.
Yeah. But with 11s on a Gibson, the problem for me is always the open G. It's like you cannot hit it's like you can't hit a chord light enough to not pull that thing out of tune.
Yeah.
Because
Gibsons hate G's anyways.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But I just noticed with it being an 11, that extra bit of mass, or whatever that size is in a set of 11s, versus a 14 or I don't know.
I'm just throwing it out in
Yeah,
the air.
total speculation. Dead wrong, probably. Whatever the difference is between those two, in a 10, in a set of 10s, I can bang that open chord and it's fine. But with an 11, it's like it goes sharp and then comes back down. Yeah. And it's like, man, do I tune just barely flat?
Yeah.
And,
like a piano? Tempered tuning?
Kind of. I mean, this is a tip that I learned in this line
session
of work.
tip. Here we go.
Yeah. Tune at the velocity you play.
Interesting.
So if you're about to play a part that's, don't tune your guitar like this, like hit the string with the way you're going to hit it.
That's a great
tune to the velocity that you play, in the position you play. Like don't like tune with your you're leaning back, tune like this.
Tune right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the weight of the neck is pulling on the strings.
Yeah.
Tune in position. Velocity you're gonna play.
Yeah, I always was fascinated at how much you guys tune, and it makes sense though.
Dude, I mean,
nonstop.
Absolutely nonstop.
Like, anytime there's nothing going on, people are tuning all over the place.
Yeah.
Like I've never used the tuner that many times in my life.
Yeah, and sometimes I tune with my volume on.
Yeah.
And that's because there's an antsy engineer who just like, okay, we're ready.
Dead space,
ready.
dead space, dead space.
Yeah, it's like, I'm still tuning.
It's like, dude, this isn't radio.
Yeah.
Like,
Most of them are super cool about it.
okay.
Yeah, so that lick.
Gilmore.
Yeah, everything's David Gilmour.
Yeah, where'd you go from there? Here we go. Oh, good one. Okay, so that was bluesy.
Man, that's all major pentatonic. But you're right, it is pentatonic. It's all pentatonic.
Oh, wait, do that real quick.
So that's the same sort of thing. It's the same lick of fourth up.
Yeah, but you ended in a cool way.
Yeah, I mean, you still get to the G.
That's like really like, no, we are at this chord because you're hitting two of the notes.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I swear to goodness, man.
Yeah.
All right, you've earned another turkey melt. Maybe a beer or two.
Awesome.
Okay, so check out Justin Ostrander's stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now I need to post more guitar stuff.
You do, dude.
It's mostly family and like, hey, check this record out. But very few.
With just pictures. Like, play something. Pretend it's Christmas every day.
Yeah. You're gonna get What Child Is This?
Make sure you check the Christmas post. It's him burning on a classical one. I was just like, oh my God.
It's cool.
Bless your heart and all your vital organs and your fingers. All right, so check out his stuff below. Make sure to subscribe, click the bell, and we're gonna see more of this cat soon anyway. So in the comment section below, let's have some questions for this guy. Like anything you want.
Sure.
You know, what pedals? Well, I'll give you, maybe I'll throw a little board shot in there.
Do it. Yeah, I've got no secrets.
Yeah.
I will.
You want IMDb? You want like people to see what you played on?
IMDb.
Or whatever it's called? Like all tunes, all music?
That's the funny thing these days is a lot of our credits don't really make it.
What?
I know. It's
Dude.
There's no such thing as a CD booklet
Pick it.
anymore.
Outside, pick it.
Well, that's why so many of us are posting like, so glad to have been a part of this record, you know?
Yeah.
We're sort of
Really?
self-curating our own credits on Instagram. Yeah.
What?
I'm terrible at it. I'll forget for a month or so and then post a bunch of them in a row.
Yeah, because he's played on plenty of records. Good for you.
Good stuff.
Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll see you all soon.